Alrighty, what's up everybody? Well, we reached the end of the course. Those 6 weeks, they flew by pretty quick. It felt like yesterday I was sitting in my bed recording my first video for the discussion board, and I was introducing myself. So yeah, flew by pretty quick. So let's get into it. Let's select one of the essays you ever. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with the my development as a writer and what's happened the last 6 weeks. So obviously I'm not perfect as a writer. I think I'm pretty good, but there's obviously, like, I can improve every word, my punctuation, my grammar, sentence structures. Like, there's so many things I can improve. But as far as like some things I've learned, particularly those two essays, the two main points is just how important brainstorming ideas and writing a rough draft is also very important. Because I find myself sitting in the essay, just sitting there like what am I going to write about? The prompt is there, all the articles. I mean, she even provided the articles that we can use as evidence. But we're just sitting there. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, man, what am I going to write about? What are my personal experiences I'm going to use? And one of the things I learned is it's just very important. The first couple weeks, or no, not the first couple weeks. I'm sorry. The first like day or two, maybe a couple hours, is just to spend time just thinking, writing it down, brainstorming ideas. And I also realized how important it is to write a rough draft. That's something I've been hearing this, since like my entire school, which is you need to write a rough draft for your essay, but I never really did it because I thought it was useless. But these two essays writing, it kind of opened my eyes to it about how important it is just to get a rough draft in, to just let your ideas go onto the paper and then just revise them whenever you review them, like maybe a day later. So that's probably something that I've learned. And also another thing, just if you can, just try to receive feedback from anybody else. I've learned that was important too. Just getting anybody, whether it's your friend, parents, or whatever, just get somebody to read your essay before you submit it, because you never know what kind of ideas or what kind of mistakes you made in it that other people could pick on. So those are probably the things I've learned the most as a writer. But the essay I chose today was the mindset essay. So the title for my essay is Growth versus Fixed Mindsets, Overcoming a Fixed Mindset in a World That Encourage It. And the reason I picked it is because I think I really liked it. I think mindset is so important as far as success in life and overcoming things. And I was really motivated to write this essay because of it, because I feel so passionate about the subject. So that's why I picked that one. All right, let me look over the other questions. Okay, so I guess I'll just read a section of it. So I'll read probably the third paragraph, 'cause I think that's my favorite. So this is my third paragraph. So, although I can't say the same about my personal relationships, I was pleased to learn that I have more of a growth mindset academically. What made school easier for me was that I enjoyed the process of learning. The process stemmed from my love of reading and writing. I would spend a lot of time after school reading history and learning about nature. I even knew how to journal at a young age, which allowed me to develop critical thinking skills. Now, journaling, this is my comment. Now, journaling is something I've kind of abandoned later. I wrote that in my resilience essay. I'm gonna start doing that before school. But I did do that at an early age, it's pretty helpful for my mind. Okay, back to it. My peers in the classroom noticed my knowledge. Unfortunately, many of them believed that I attained some kind of special talent. I remember working on group projects where other students would ask me to complete more difficult tasks for them because they lacked the confidence in their own abilities. In the video, Creating a Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck stated that praising talent, praising intelligence makes them vulnerable. I agree with her statement, and it relates to my own experience in the classroom. Kids lack confidence in their own abilities because society have overpraised talents and intelligence. The fear of embarrassment and failure only holds the youth back. We need less praise for talent and more praise for hard work, discipline, process over result, and improvement. Every time I got a bad grade, I didn't look at it as a failure. I looked at it as an opportunity for me to work harder. My growth-oriented mindset in academics pushed me to succeed. So all that's true. I've done pretty well in academics my whole life, and it's because I think it's just a mindset thing. if you have the right mindset, if you focus on the right things, you're generally going to do better. I don't really believe too much in the natural intelligence or anything like that. And that gets to my final thing I'm going to speak here, which is just some motivation or some kind of wisdom. And the thing I want to talk about is just not giving up. You know, there's so many people. It's part of our society. There's so many people that we consider failures. But what I really look at it is unfulfilled potential. And it's sad. Like, how many people do we have in society that aren't doing great simply because they have potential that they simply didn't tap into, or that they gave up? That's the killer. Like, never give up. You know, and it's hard because life is hard. There's many challenges. There's many times where you're just sitting there wanting to give up. You know, it's kind of like the natural cycle of your brain. Our brains are just naturally lazy. So whenever we run into any hardship, it's kind of like, you know, part of what I say is like overcoming the animal brain. Like, we have these like animal brains inside of our heads that are just working against us every day for whatever reason. Like, it's annoying, but it's part of life. We all have it. But it's just having a growth mindset. You know, just overcoming the fixed limitations. And it's just never giving up. You know, there's so many people that don't fulfill their potential just because they gave up. They ran into a challenge and they couldn't overcome it, so they just gave up. You know, they just accepted their fate. And you know, and it's sad because there's a lot of people out there like that unfulfilled their potential. So you know, that would be my wisdom or just inspiration to all you guys. Just follow your dreams and don't give up. It'll suit you on the best for later. And yeah, that's all I got here. And I appreciate everybody in this classroom. It was a great 6 weeks, and I hope you have a great rest of your year. Thanks.